Good morning and welcome to Unity of Ventura's online service. I'm Reverend Heidi Alfrey. I'm so honored to be the spiritual leader of this incredible community. Thank you for being with us for this service. I want you to know that your energy is a huge part of how this service unfolds. So if you want to get whatever you want so you can be here for the next hour, something to drink, something to eat, whatever, just be present and allow this time to be a gift for you. So we begin by honoring who we are and celebrating who we are. You will never come again. So it's very important in this journey that is our life to acknowledge the remarkable uniqueness of who we are and what we have in common. And that is being the light of the world. Now, you may say, I'm a sister, or I'm a mother, or I'm a husband, I'm an accountant, I'm a hairstylist, I'm a minister, I care about the world, however we sort of label ourselves. But the truth is that you are the light of the world. So let us affirm that. Let's spend just a moment of time being in this beautiful body temple. So I'd invite you to put your hand on your heart, close your eyes for a moment, and reflect on something about yourself that you love. Shouldn't be hard, just let it come. And you can say, in honoring that energy that you bring to the world, I am the light of the world. Yeah, it's important. And then take a moment, either someone that's in your space with you, a pet, or someone that is in your life, someone you really care a lot about, or someone you would like to care a lot about, and allow that energy into your moment. And then we'll say to that soul, you are the light of the world. It's really interesting how the mirror of another brings it right back to you. And I have committed to walk every day or hike at least often. And I'm always blown away by the incredible, exquisite gift that is this planet. And all the live things that are saying hello to me in some way or another. It really is something we want to celebrate, to appreciate, and to experience. So now we take a moment to acknowledge the we of this incredible gift that we have, that is this earth and this universe. And so we say, we are the light of the world. We are never alone. We can feel like that sometimes, but it is not true. So now we will go on to talk about the fundamental agreements of Unity of Ventura. So some agreements that this community has made together. They are the mission statement for Unity of Ventura and then our statement of truth. So let us proclaim these truths together. Our mission statement: we provide a loving and accepting environment that inspires personal and spiritual growth through the practice of unity principles in our daily lives. And our statement of truth: there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. So we are here to inspire our personal and spiritual growth. It's happening right here and right now. Here we go.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real.
There is There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me. There's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
Good morning. Today's reading is from 40 Days of Letting Go, and today's word is surrender, the process of surrender. As Jesus walked to Gethsemane with the disciples, he was increasingly in anguish and agitation. He said, "Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I want, but what you want." Mark 14:36. This indicates that during this entire time, he was surrendering his finite will over to the care of God. Jesus demonstrated surrender is a process. We continue in this divine process of becoming. We surrender our thoughts, limitations, burdens, and lives over to the tender, loving care of an infinite presence. In order to surrender, we are invited to look deeply within. We say yes to embracing the process of surrender. Understanding it strengthens our spiritual muscle. As we participate in the art of surrender, we can clearly listen to an expansive inner intelligence. This binds us to all there is, and we are free to soar. This was inspired by Matthew 11:29, which says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Together, the affirmation we are going to say is, "I am willing to relinquish all to be free and soar the highest heights." Together, I am willing to relinquish all to be free and soar the highest heights.
Ventura, this is Natalie Nesh. Thank you for having me again this week. It's such a pleasure and honor to be able to share this music with you, especially in such an important month, which is Women's History Month. I recorded 2 songs for you, Superwoman and Worthy, and let me tell you, these songs are super powerful. Especially after singing Superwoman, I have to say that I did get emotional because it made me think of all the amazing women that surround me and make a difference in my life. With that, their compassion, with that, their friendship and patience, life will be so much harder. So, yes, I definitely had a moment there, and I'm just grateful to be a woman and to be surrounded by amazing women. nothing seems complete. I stand up and I'm searching for the better part of me. I hang my head from sorrow, slave to humanity. I wear it on my shoulders. Gotta find the strength in me, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Still when I'm a mess, still putting a vest, winning this on my test. Oh yes, I'm a superwoman. For all the mothers fighting for better days to come, and all my women sitting here trying to come home before the sun. And all my sisters coming together, say yes I will, yes I can, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Still when I'm a mess, still putting a vest, winning this on my test. Oh yes, I'm a superwoman. When I'm breaking down and I can't be found, and I start to get weak, 'cause no one knows me underneath these clothes, but I can fly. We can fly, oh, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Still when I'm a mess, still putting a vest, when I nest on my test. Oh yes, I'm a superwoman.
Greetings. And thank you, Natalie Nash, for singing that wonderful song, Superwoman. Sung by Alicia Keys, one of my Sheroes. We're on the listening path, week 5, journeying down this path together. We've talked about listening to our environment and then listening to others, our higher self. Last week, listening on the other side of the veil. And today we're talking about listening to our heroes. And since it's Women's History Month, we're going to talk about our Sheroes. I have on my Wonder Woman shirt, noticing this power, this strength that it is to be a woman. We're also going to be acknowledging your Sheroes and all the women that have paved the path for the rights we have today. If we're looking at our voting rights, our reproductive rights, these political positions that women have, our civil rights, equal pay, none of these are perfect, but there have been many women we're going to honor and look at this listening to your Sheroes. I'm going to take a break right now, and I want you to see a little video that is created for Women's History Month.
I'm not ready to wait 100 or 200 years for things to change. That I think actually that time is neutral, that it can either be used constructively or destructively. That human progress rarely rolls in on inevitability. It is through human dedication and effort that we move forward.
Susan B. Anthony and her followers have won for women the right to vote.
She successfully spanned the Atlantic from Newfoundland to Londonderry, Ireland, the first woman to make the flight solo.
Already unique, the first woman to hold such high office, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi continues the tradition of service to India that is synonymous with the names of Gandhi and Nehru.
Shirley Chisholm, the first black woman elected to Congress, becomes the first black woman nominated for president.
With Billie Jean King pushing us, the road ahead will be smoother for women. The future will be brighter for LGBT Americans, and our nation's commitment to equality will be stronger for all.
Women's suffrage is about feminism, but feminism is about fairness.
We will not let them take the rights of women who have fought for so many decades to get to this point where we are at right now.
I think smart, strong women are always considered difficult. You cannot fix the most complicated problems, but you can fight to make them better.
What I would want for you girls is that you don't take no for an answer, because no is just some bullshit word that someone made up.
We are here to raise our voice. We are here to speak for these children and for our rights, for women's rights. We are here to take an action.
Activism works, so I'm telling you to act. We are being betrayed by those in power, and they are failing us. But we will not back down. And if you feel threatened by that, then I have some very bad news for you. We will not be silenced, because we are the change, and change is coming whether you like it or not.
Pretty powerful energy. Women's History Month and listening to our Sheroes. Today we'll look at some women in our New Thought history. Some incredible women that had such focus and clarity and inspiration. You're gonna love it. And then we'll look at some young women that I don't think meant to go out and make the changes that they did, but surprisingly, when you decide to be a leader, it is incredible the things that come through that may be a purpose that you didn't expect to have. And then we'll look at some women right now that were part of the history of this country in a way of just standing clear for what mattered to them. And the first is from March 31st, 1776. This is the wife of John Adams, one of the founding fathers. And she says, this is Abigail Adams makes a plea to the Continental Congress. And she says, remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment, which means stir up, a rebellion, and will not hold ourselves bound to any laws in which we have no voice or representation. Go, Abigail. I mean, it's lovely just to really say, you know, we're not going to be part of something to which we have no voice or representation. And that is, Abigail is now one of my Sheroes. And the conversation about listening to our Sheroes is to tune in to Abigail. If this idea of perhaps there's something in your life that you're recognizing you want to have a voice and maybe you feel like you don't, and to be able to stand in that power. Julia's experience is to write to these people that have passed on and say, what can I learn? What do I need to know about this? And to listen and see what the connection is to the people that you hold in high esteem. You know, none of us would be here if it wasn't for Myrtle Fillmore. I think we're all really clear about that. Myrtle Fillmore healed herself with the affirmation, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. Now, this had nothing to do with her family of origin or her religion, but she became very clear that this was what she needed to believe to heal an illness that had been passed along in her family. Now, Charles, she did not push her agenda. She just did the work. And the healing and the energy of the healing and her dedication and her faith was automatically evident to Charles. So all of us females, all of us ladies can understand that the power really is in the beingness, much less than the words. And so, again, unity would not be here if it wasn't for Myrtle. Charles came after Myrtle's healing. And there were many women that were involved with this New Thought movement. You know, I've come into a profession that was originally only men. And I hate to actually admit this, but when I first thought about being a minister, my thought was, maybe I'll marry a minister. I'll be a minister's wife, which is so fascinating because my mom, you know, I think a big part of her life was being a wife, and that's fine. But it's interesting how that was the thought, that was sort of the backdoor idea. And of course, I wanted to be a minister. And it's beautiful that unity paved a way. Myrtle paved the way. And I can absolutely reflect on connecting with Myrtle when I want to understand more about spirituality and focus and being a powerful woman. Let me read some of the other wonderful quotes from the women that were part of our movement. I spoke with one of my Sheroes this week, Reverend Beth Ann Suggs, who is, I know, a Shero of Unity of Ventura, absolutely, in the Unity movement. And we both came up with one of our favorite books, and the book that gave us both the journey onto unity, and that was Lessons in Truth, and the wonderful author Emily Cady. And I remember first reading Emily Cady's words and feeling so transformed and so intrigued. And so I'd like you to hear some of Emily Cady. She's one of the teachers of Charles and Fillmore, Charles and Myrtle, and one of the books that came forward during that time of the late 1800s. She says, the words, God is my defense and deliverance, held in the silence until they become part of your very being, will deliver you out of the hands and the arguments of the keenest lawyer in the world. So clear, so direct, so powerful. She said, we have come to a place now where our search for truth must no longer be for the rewards. It must no longer be for our seeking a creed to follow, but it must be our living a life. Right? It isn't for rewards. It isn't for just a creed to follow. And this is what we say. It's about living a life. That's the listening one can do to a Shero like Emily Cady. Another New Thought woman that is part of our movement, straight from Christ consciousness, was Florence Scovel Shinn. Many people just call her Flo. She says, as an affirmation, Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Go Flo. I have another one of Florence. My good now flows to me in a steady, unbroken, ever-increasing stream of success, happiness, and abundance. She is one of our leading ladies of unity. And so we celebrate her as our Shero, and we transmit and embody that energy and that clarity. Here's another one. Unexpected doors fly open. Unexpected channels are free. And endless avalanches of abundance are poured out upon me under grace and perfect ways. Florence Scovel Shinn, y'all. Another New Thought teacher who's one of my Sheroes, we all know, Louise Hay. She said, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. All right, Louise, love yourself just the way you are. I want to now talk about two young ladies that were part of the USA gymnastics team. Both of these young ladies were all about working hard, getting medals, but their life ended up creating another message. They are Simone Biles and Aly Raisman. Now, Simone was all ready to go to the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. But when she got there, something happened to her that when she was doing one of her incredible vault maneuvers, she got what's called the twisties. And she was not able to keep track of herself in the air. So Simone left the competition to take care of her mental health. And I'll tell you about a quote of hers: lots of courage and lots of honoring her divine self. Simone Biles withdrew from the women's team gymnastics final in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, citing mental health concerns as she attempts to protect her body and mind. Biles broke down in tears as she explained her decision. She said, whenever you get in a high stress situation, you kind of freak out. I have to focus on my mental health and not jeopardize my health and my well-being. It sucks when you're fighting with your own head. She demonstrated that it's okay to not be okay. She developed the twisties, again, where she lost sense of herself in the air, where she's used to having control of her body. She said, by putting her mental health first, Biles has shown the world that mental health is a cornerstone of our overall well-being. Simone went on to say she never planned on being a spokesperson for mental health, but her life and her choice to take care of herself, rather than this pressure that the world had put on her and she put on herself to perform. She said, I'm a human being underneath it all. I have a life, and my life is, yes, this training and these skills I have, but it's also about being healthy. So Simone, not for her athletic abilities, but for her vulnerability and her honesty, is one of my Sheroes. And then Aly Raisman, after years of being abused by the doctor that the gymnastic team had suggested for years and years, came forward with many other women. The doctor, Larry Nassar, had been abusing women over and over in this environment that was protected by the Gymnastics Association. And she came forward very courageously to make sure this man went to jail, but also make sure that she was able to have a voice. And there's many things to see with Ali Rassman being a Shero, not only for her athletic abilities, but for being able to be honest, being able to be vulnerable. She said that she encourages everyone out there to remember that you deserve to feel safe. Everyone has a story. Everyone deserves to be heard. She said, I'd like to remind everyone that being a survivor is nothing to be ashamed of, and going through a hard time does not define you. Ali, like so many women, became part of the Me Too movement, which again is, you may not put that or might not have thought that is as part of this Shero experience, but the courage it takes for women to have a voice. As Abigail said so many years ago, that you must have a voice. You must be able to speak your truth. And no matter who is telling you to be quiet and that it's not appropriate, Ali showed the world how important it was and had so many women that now she is able to help just by being able to tell her story. The idea of listening this week is to identify your heroes and sheroes, and then take time to listen. Julia's example is to write, to say, I'd like to receive some information about this, and to connect with these energies of people that you admire, that actually have values that are your values. And see what comes up in your writing, in your morning pages. See how it might transform you to see some of the qualities that they have in you and to gain wisdom and insight. This listening path, as you can see, takes so many twists and turns. But the goal, the reason we started this path, was to know yourself better, to also allow yourself to let go, as Anne read today, to surrender the feeling of the things that you think you have to have, or maybe the things you feel like you have to listen to, and expand into a greater sense of being connected to your sheroes, beyond the veil, people, your environment, to really understand how large and super your world is. And we find that by listening. So enjoy this week of identifying the people. And it might be, as I shared, Simone and Ali have become sheroes of mine because they were willing to go beyond what the world needed them to be and develop those qualities on the inside. And the beautiful, powerful quotes of all of the women in our New Thought movement. Look up some more. There's so many amazing women and men, but the women we're focusing on right now that were so pivotal in our movement continuing to grow and to bless all of our lives. I want to close with a quote by another shero of mine, Eleanor Roosevelt. And she says, we do not have to become heroes or sheroes overnight. Just a step at a time, meeting each thing as it comes up, seeing it as not as dreadful as it appears, discovering that we have the strength to stare it down. So Wonder Woman, with her lasso of truth, is lassoing each one of you to find that truth within yourself. These teachings are truth. Your heroes and sheroes have a truth for you to listen to and to be encouraged by, and to know that you are not alone. We are walking this listening path together, and I'm honored to be traveling with each and every one of you. Namaste. So we take a moment to go within and listen and connect with those we admire, with those whose values are similar to ours. So I invite you to maybe move those shoulders around a little bit and feel the sense of letting go of any heaviness. And you roll your head from side to side. You shake out your hands a little bit. There's nowhere to go and there's nothing to do. It's time to experience the sweetness that is you. I'd like you to bring to mind a person or some persons that you admire, that you look up to. Maybe some that you know well, or some that may just be an aspect of history that you know about. The focus of the women that have perhaps even risked their lives so change could be present. Was for the basic rights of women, equal rights. And it might not be specifically those women, but it could be the women that are part of this New Thought movement. Of Myrtle Fillmore, who was so gentle and strong. And to allow the faces or the energy of those souls to come into your mind, and to just gently sit with those God qualities, goddess qualities of strength, of kindness, of faith, of courage, of humor, of audacity, of confidence, of connection, of belief, of vitality, of love, and whatever words touch your heart or even other words, let's sit with this lovely, sweet, uplifting music and allow yourself to either listen more deeply to a specific person or be with those qualities within yourself and see yourself embodying the qualities you admire in someone else. As we return to this moment and this breath, we feel so grateful for our teachers, for those that have paved the way for the path on which we walk. It's wonderful to be loved by those that we haven't even ever met. And then we are paving the way for the next group. We are spiritual consciousness and evolution. We let go and we let Spirit work through us and as us. Use me. We keep our hearts and our minds open to the inspiration that comes from people before us and perhaps people in our midst. And we are open to however we can best serve on this planet at this time. And we keep our minds open to what is next to here on the beautiful and magnificent listening path. We are one with God, the good, orderly direction. Gratitude is our natural state of being, and so it is. Amen. All right, it is now time for us to be part of the ongoing of Unity of Ventura. We celebrate the energy of money, the way that it flows into our life, and we give where we are spiritually fed, and we create the space for it to come right back. Thank you all for supporting Unity of Ventura. It's a wonderful place. It's my spiritual home, and I know it's yours. So the ways to give, you'll see the slide right now. You can go to our website and click donate, and you can give with a credit card. Under the fund, it'll say you go to general budget. Let's see, you can Venmo, and you can also, we still have our address at Poinsettia Pavilion, which is right there. You can mail a check. Just know that you allow this place to be here for you and for many others. All right, so hold your one of many channels of good in your hand and let us say our love offering affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you, God.
It took a mighty blow to crack me to the core. I wondered all my life why I felt so alone, trying to survive. How could I have known? Worthy, what a thing to claim. I am worthy, ashes into flame. Worthy, what a thing to claim.
What's happening at Unity of Ventura? Well, 99.99% we're going to be at Seventh-day Adventist Church on Palm Sunday, which is April 2nd at 10 a.m. So you will get a specific e-newsletter just about that. It's at 6300 Telephone Road in Ventura. But wait for your newsletter. I've signed the lease. The insurance is done, and it is just, so it should be happening. Just wait for your e-newsletter and hold it in your mind. Yes. The Listening Path class is still going on. There's 2 more Mondays. It's Monday at 6:30 p.m. and we'd love you to be part of the class. You can join online. Jana still does her Wednesday morning meditation. It's at 9 a.m. You can get the Zoom code by emailing Jana, and her information is on the website, unityofventura.org. And we are having 2 things. We're going to have a spring fling on Wednesday night, March 29th. We're going to meet at the Brophy Brothers at 5:30 p.m. Yes, and so come join us. We'll have a meal together, break bread. It's a lot of fun. You need to email me that you're coming, though, so we'll know how many. And I'm at Heidi Alfrey at gmail.com, and this is also was in your newsletter. And we're having a Good Friday meditation, which will be on, let us see, that will be April the 7th at noon, and it's online. And there'll be more information about that in the Zoom code, and you're welcome to come on. And it'll be about the last statements of Jesus, the 7 last statements. Very powerful meditative experience on Good Friday. Okie dokie. Stay on. We're going to sing our unity song. We're going to have the prayer for protection. I'd love to talk to you about your Sheroes and the opportunity of listening. Lots of love. Stay with us for the unity song. It's a Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. And then we'll go right into our prayer for protection. And we'd love you to stay online and talk with us about whatever came to you during the service and whatever's on your heart. Namaste. Lots of love.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous love. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week. Stay on and talk to us if you have time. Be the light that you are, dear ones.